Hey, Aries, Mel, intuitive coach here, excited to bring in your June 2025 monthly reading. If you're interested in a personal reading, signing up for the monthly newsletter, or entering into the free reading giveaway, you can find all of that information in the description box below the video. All right, Aries, we have here key themes for the month. You have strength, memories, and signs and symbols. You also have the Six of Cups here, which can be a card of memories or even nostalgia. So for some of you, there may be something coming back around. This could be an old project or course of study that maybe you put on the back burner. This could be something that you really enjoyed doing in the past, but perhaps timing was a factor, or you may have had other responsibilities to tend to, but I feel like you're recommitting here to the things that bring you joy. You're recommitting to a part of yourself that you may have felt you neglected in some way. Why? Because you were going through something. You have the Strength card showing up here, and this is about unwavering confidence. This is about you persevering, not through force, but through self-love and compassion. You may have been addressing your health. For some of you, you may have been addressing maybe some financial or even family setbacks, issues, or even drama. But I feel like the Strength card here is saying you are overcoming these obstacles. You will persevere. You're stronger than perhaps you thought. And you're coming out of this tunnel. You're coming out of a phase of your life that may have been a little more difficult. And I feel like there's a new opportunity ahead here for you, especially with this Page of Pentacles. There may be some news coming in here. There may even be an apology of some sort or forgiveness. And this could be self-forgiveness. Perhaps you've been judging yourself harshly, or there's been a form of self-criticism, which can sometimes happen with the Strength card. Now, I'm also getting here health again, which we'll look at health in all areas, but I feel like you've been focusing on your nervous system. So maybe doing some somatic healing, such as breath work, perhaps even working with a therapist, a counselor, a coach. It feels like you've been gathering your strength and maybe even doing some physical therapy. There may have even been a surgery. Some of you have been in or are currently in recovery. Maybe this is recovery from surgery. It could be recovery from cancer. For some of you, recovery from addictions. But I feel like the Strength card here, when this shows up, there's nothing that you cannot overcome, even though it poses, a challenge. And I see that you're starting to wake up to living your life again. I'm getting this energy here for you of going through a journey that was prolonged, or like the ending of something may have felt prolonged, or it felt very, very difficult. You're like, when am I going to get there? When am I going to finally touch that piece of gratification? And I see that here it is for you. I would say between June and August, there's a huge shift coming in. And some of you, it's retirement, it's marriage, it's divorce, it's a move. I'm talking big, because the two major arcanas that are in your reading are actually the World and the Fool. So this is about you overcoming something that you've been working on for quite some time. Now, the memories, it can feel a bit bittersweet, because the memories, you may have many of them. Perhaps you are becoming an empty nester, and you have, your last child flying out of the coop and leaving, the home. And there could be memories, of course, that you've created. And now you're in this next phase of your life. For some of you, you may be retiring, and you have gathered memories over the last, few decades. And for some of you, longer. And I also see that you've gone through maybe a period of loss. For some of you, this is a loss of a loved one, a loss of maybe a relationship, or even an old identity. And sometimes the memories can come up to a point in your life. Maybe some of you are going through what I like to call a midlife awakening. Not a midlife crisis, even though it can feel like a tower moment. But it's basically a soul awakening where you re-examine your life. life and you ask, where am I at versus where do I want to be? What needs to shift? What needs to change? What do I need to focus on? What do I need to, prioritize at this time? So I feel like you may be coming up to a point in your journey where you are looking at the trials and tribulations. You are looking at, the past energies, but taking the wisdom that you have gained by going through those lessons. And there may be some memories that come up in June. Perhaps June, a loved one in spirit could be celebrating a heavenly birthday. For some of you, this is a wedding anniversary. It could be, a birthday celebration, possibly for a child. You have the inner child showing up here at the bottom of the deck. But this could also be, a grandchild as well. Someone could be taking a lot of pictures, a lot of photographs. This also has to do with, history in the making, but also remembering the good old days, but making space to create new memories now. So I feel like someone is going to be taking a lot of pictures. Okay, a lot of pictures here, and maybe even scrapbooking or looking back on these pictures at some point, because this is also about our life story. And I feel like you're taking a little bit of a walk down memory lane in the month here of June. But I feel like there are tears of laughter, there are tears of joy, and there's also tears of, how far you've come. And I feel like you're not alone here. You're making space for love to be reborn within you. Now you have the signs and symbols card here. I love this energy because spirit is always guiding us, always showing us, the physical proof and evidence that we're not alone through divine synchronicities, through spirit communication, through dreams, feathers. This may even be songs on the radio or the billboard. Now, some of you may have specific symbols that hold meaning for you, such as the butterfly or the dragonfly, perhaps the ladybug. It can be a nickel. It can be a penny. I feel like you know your signs and symbols. And for some of you, there's going to be a brand new sign that shows up for you. And you're like, wow, I have not seen that before. Or it could even be an animal that shows up in the great outdoors that maybe crosses your path. Some of you, you may have a stray that comes to you. Now, I feel like it's a stray animal, but I mean, it could feel like it's an energy here, maybe of a person that kind of comes in out of the blue, and maybe they feel left out or they have felt abandoned in some way. It feels like you may be taking in an energy, but of course, take care of yourself first and foremost, and make sure that you have the capacity and the space mentally, emotionally, physically, financially to be able to take in this stray energy that I'm picking up. So it could, of course, be an animal, but it could be like a family member or a friend that needs an extra hand or needs a little bit of support or strength at this time. So it could be that you're borrowing your own strength to someone else here so they can get through maybe a challenge or struggle themselves. Now we have the inner child at the bottom here, which I really love because this is also a great time to play. It's a really good time for joy. And because we also have the Fool card here, this is about curiosity. It is the potential here of, fun and opening yourself up to the unknown. And I love the Fool card and I love the inner child because these two partnered up. It reminds me of going through experiences for the very first time, right? Falling in love for the very first time, buying your first home or moving into your first, rental property. It can be your first day of school. It can be, the first time you ever traveled or you drove a vehicle, all of the firsts that we have. And sometimes when we hit a certain age, we start to lose that momentum. We feel like we've done everything, right? We've gone through everything, but the Fool here is saying you have more to explore. Oh, I love that. Yes, you have more to explore here, and stay open to your curiosity. Stay open to that joy and that innocence, because it doesn't matter if you're 95 years old or if you are 5 years old. We all have this inner child. We all have this part of us that wants to love, and we want to play, and we want to have fun and enjoy what life what life has to offer, the beauties that life has to offer. And I see that there's something waking you up to this Fool energy here. Now we have the Page of Pentacles. This is you getting honest with yourself. It's about reflecting on your commitments. Where are you committing your time? Where are you paying homage to? Is it your cell phone? Is it, Netflix? Are you committing to your spiritual practices? Are you committing to other people's happiness and neglecting your own? So I feel like you've been, again, listening to your own inner awareness, your own inner calling, and it may feel a little bit challenging sometimes to put yourself on the front lines, for you to take care and nurture your own self. Basically, the Page of Pentacles is about investing in the self. And the eggs here represent new beginnings, but getting honest with yourself about your path, staying loyal to you. And some of you may be choosing to invest in higher education or take some classes or a new path ahead. And I see that you have the strength to say yes. You have the strength to choose you. And perhaps your whole life, you've taken care of others in some way. Or perhaps you feel like you have been taking care of yourself, but now you're ready to come out of that hermit shell a little bit and enjoy some of what life has to offer. So the Page of Pentacles is your hard work here is feeling like you're turning a new leaf, okay? You've been investing in yourself, and maybe you've already been doing some new learning, and you're getting practical about what you need to do to maybe move forward into this Fool energy. Like, how do I close out some old cycles, some old chapters with this world in reverse here? Well, we have the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands, when she is showing up in her glory, in her power, she is confident. And there may be a little spontaneity here for you. I feel like the Page of Pentacles is saying, take a practical, calculated risk here. Okay. It feels like a calculated risk is required with the Queen of Wands and the Fool. Like, you've already been planning or preparing for something. Now, give yourself that little bit of a soul nudge, right? That you've been maybe sitting on. And the signs are going to show up. The signs are going to present themselves to you. With the Memories card, it feels like you've been in training, right? It's almost like you've been training a lifetime for whatever new opportunity this is. And I see that, you have this magnetism. You are birthing something new into life here. And with this Queen of Wands, you're very creative, very artsy, very, sharp. I feel like you have what it takes to move forward and attract what it is that you want in your life. And you're getting focused. You actually see that she has the hawk mask that she's holding up, because she's focusing on what she wants to attract in her world. So some of you are really zoning in on the law of attraction and focusing on the things that you want more so than the things that you do not want. So you're getting closer and closer to really tipping over the edge here into this Fool energy. So it feels really good. Don't get stuck though in the Knight of Pentacles. It almost feels like you dip your toe in the water, like, here I am, I'm ready, I'm going to launch this website, I'm going to publish this book, I'm going to, retire, I'm going to allow myself to open up to love in all aspects. But then it's like, okay, right when you get ready to kind of take that leap, something may kind of pull you back. It almost feels like there could be some unknowns. You're like, wait a second, I was just about to take that leap of faith, but it's like someone pulling on the back of your shirt and saying, wait a second, you're not ready to leap yet. So the Knight of Pentacles is saying you have what it takes to go explore, right? This is about direction. So for some of you, because the Queen of Wands has that hawk mask, you may need to really focus. As I said, I feel like you have been planning. Now focus on the next steps for yourself, but don't let distractions hold you back. And that could be where that little fear is coming in, because sometimes those fears can distract us. They can hold us back. And I see that your biggest flex here is going to be your confidence. Having confidence in knowing that this is the path and the direction that you are meant to explore at this time with this Knight of Pentacles. But the Knight of Pentacles showing up can be, lacking discipline or lacking focus. But I feel like you can trust this path. You can trust this journey. And even though the Fool is here kind of urging you, you have the wisdom with the World card. Okay, you have the World and the Fool that are backed up against each other, but some of you may still have some loose ends to tie up. Maybe there's a 2-week period. Maybe you're going from one job to another and you're still in that, that space of not quite wrapping up this chapter before you fully embrace this one. I feel for some of you, there could even be travel coming in, potentially international travel. For some of you, you're still maybe working out the details of marriage or maybe divorce. This can also be graduation. And for a lot of you, I feel like you're excited about this new beginning because you're saying the world is my oyster. Even though you may have just a couple of things that you're focusing on at this time, it just feels like you're getting closer and closer to where you want to truly be. Now, with the Six of Cups showing up, this is the card of second chances. You see that they are entangled in a loving, tender embrace. For some of you, this is passion. This is love. There could be a new love offer coming in here for you after maybe going through a long period of your life, either single or maybe you've been in a relationship in the past. Some of you may even be widowed. And I see that it's been difficult to maybe let go of who you were then or let go of that old life or that old version of yourself, but you're slowly starting to kind of dip your toes in the water here. And I see that your heart is waking up again with the Six of Cups. This is also about you maybe again reconnecting to someone that it could be healing. That's what it is here. Maybe not necessarily reconnecting, although that could be the case. But I feel like some of you, maybe the reconnection comes within marriage vows. Some of you are wanting to renew your marriage vows, or you want to renew a hobby that you enjoy doing, or you want to be able to open that part of your soul up again, that part of your heart that feels more in depth. And I feel like the Six of Cups showing up here is saying you're able to embrace your passion. You're able to enjoy that Fool energy. I mean, double whammy coming in here. So whatever this new beginning is for you, not only dip your toes in it, but cliff dive, right? You've all heard of maybe cliff diving. It feels like you are safe. Like this is a safe space for you to explore and to have fun and to get yourself back out there in some way, to try again, to start opening yourself up to your passions, whatever that may be for you. Now, when it comes to health, some of you may have had an ongoing health issue, perhaps autoimmune. Because we have the World here, this may even be aging. Some of you perimenopause, it can be menopause, maybe wrinkles, gray hairs. There may be some resistance at times with how one ages, but I feel like you're coming to this point in your life where you're starting to say, okay, I'm going to spread my wings and I'm going to live life for me and enjoy this next leg of my journey. I'm going to enjoy all of me. And that's the type of energy that I'm going to attract, is someone who is not superficial, who's not just caught up on maybe physical appearances here, but this is an energy of playfulness and fun and having kind of the whole package, the whole 9 yards here. And I see that there's definitely a renewal type of energy and commitments, renewing your commitment to love and saying, I'm going to focus on this area of my life. If you've been focusing on healing, or if you've been on this spiritual path here with the strength, it's like strength training, right? We have to get our body used to lifting or getting used to using muscles that we haven't used in quite some time. But it's like now you have strengthened something within yourself, and now it feels a lot easier. And perhaps now is the time to work out another muscle, right? I hope you're following me symbolically here. But yeah, it's time to maybe focus on a new area of your life because you've strengthened this one area, and now you can kind of veer and work on something new. So that's what the Fool is reminding you. Now, when it comes to health, I see that there is an opportunity to be honest with like a doctor, honest with a coach, or, a healer, a therapist, and really saying, okay, what do I need to do? Some of you, this has to do with the sacral chakra, maybe like preserving eggs. It may have to do with the feminine reproductive cycle in some way. For others of you, it can even be for you men out there, maybe some sort of something with that sacral energy, the lower belly here, that may have to do with waking oneself up to feeling like maybe a higher libido or a higher, passion drive here. It feels like that is being addressed maybe after going through some struggles or challenges with the world here. Okay, maybe there's been something that's been prolonged or you've been putting something off. I just feel like you're taking a leap and you're focusing on something that's been maybe on the back burner, because again, we have responsibilities and life comes at us and we say, yeah, I'll focus on that later, or I'll focus on that when I have more time. It's being reignited within you to, again, work out that muscle, because something over here has been strengthened. Now you can focus on this new path here. So when it comes to finances, career, and wealth, you have here the Heart card. I love this. This is about having a job that you love. Some of you are counselors or guides yourself. This is about you being supported, potentially supported financially. Maybe you have a partner where you can share in on your finances. And for others of you, I just feel like this is about you being able to make money doing what you love. And if you've had any ties to emotional spending, or if you've been working on reining in your shopping, I feel like you're budgeting at this time, or you're spending wisely is what I would say. You're not treating yourself to what it is that maybe you want, but I feel like you're focusing on needs, and you're making sure that your needs and wants are met. But I also feel like there's support coming in here for you. And there could even be another source of income that's going to supplement an existing income here. You have the business card here, Aries. This is beautiful. Don't be intimidated to enter the world of business. You got this. So for some of you, this is going into business potentially for yourself. You may even be drawing up legal documentation, such as maybe an LLC, or you may be looking into rules or regulations, trademarks, things of that nature. Consider executive positions, becoming maybe a CEO of your own company here. This is about the corporate world. Some of you may even be leaving the corporate world and going off and doing something solo, or you are, getting ready to do that. You're getting ready to retire. Maybe you have like a year left, or for some of you, you're right on that cusp of maybe the next 5-year plan for yourself. You're elevating your awareness. It says think bigger if you want different results. And I keep getting expansion for you. So you are expanding the mind, expanding your perception here. And I feel like you're kind of going big. It's like, all right, if I'm going to do this, I'm really going to do this. And that's why you've had to kind of get honest with yourself and, step into this confident part of you, because it almost feels like once I do this, I'm not going back, right? I'm not going to go back. Now you have a new offer coming in. Now this could be an offer in your career. There could be a promotion. It says the universe will meet all of your needs. Call upon your spirit guides and angels to assist you at this time. And remember that Heart card here. It says you are supported. And then we have it coming up again, right? The universe is going to meet all of your needs. So if you have been stressed out about finances, or if there's been some form of anxiety with the Strength card, Like, am I going to have enough? Am I going to be able to pay the bills? Am I going to be able to retire? Am I going to, be able to, whatever it may be that you've been questioning regarding your finances or career? I feel like this is an offering coming in, and Spirit is saying focus here on that abundant mindset, because you're taking action. You're ready to take action here. Try not to get stuck in that Knight of Pentacles in reverse, because the Knight of Pentacles in reverse can be a halt. It can be a pause. You're staying disciplined here, I see. You're being guided to stay disciplined, but also where you're heading, I love this, is the Comfort card here. Though you're not exactly rich, you will be living comfortably. You are entering. So entering means you're not quite out of it yet. That's the World in reverse. You're still in a phase of your life here that you have been gaining strength, right? Flexing that muscle of yours. And it says you are entering into the most comfortable period of your life. A lot of you, this is going to be able to not only have what you need, but you have more than enough. I feel like there's a surplus. There's an abundance here coming in for you. There could even be like a settlement. For some of you, there's an inheritance, or there could be a small fortune that does show up for you. And this is something intuitively you may know, or you may already be aware of. And it says your finances are in a state of balance. So this is where you are headed. For those of you that may be struggling, financially, I definitely see things are going to start to balance out. And it does require a calculated risk, though. And you're going to be so happy that you decided to say yes to this new path, whatever this may be for you, this new beginning. And you have the wisdom. You're not starting from scratch, right? You have the wisdom here, but you also have to let go of any preconceived notions, expectations, or old conditioning or beliefs that have kept you stuck in order for you to fully spread your wings. Now, we have here the Queen of Wands. When it comes to career, you're really good at what you do. This tells me that you have a lot of experience. Some of you have perhaps been in business for, a few decades is what I'm getting. You may have, been excited about exploring this new path, because the Page of Pentacles can be, you've been in this path for quite some time. You're really good at it, but I feel like you're ready to, explore a different avenue. It brings me back to the muscles here. It's like if you've already worked, your right bicep, it's time to work your left bicep a little more to find balance within that dynamic. So I feel if you've already gotten really good at something, it's time for you to kind of pivot a little bit and say, where else can I get better? Or what else can I, where else can I increase my attention to make that money flow? Or not to make it, but to attract it, if you will. All right, let's look at love, partnerships, relationships. Ooh, maybe this area hasn't always been the best. Maybe this has been a struggle when it comes to partnerships or family. Maybe you've dealt with people who've been a little bit sly, maybe a little cunning, snakish here with the snake. Some of you have dealt with people where they didn't show their best colors, okay, if you will. Maybe someone was entangled with someone from their past as well, or just can be feeling like you're walking on eggshells. And maybe that's why the world is ready to come to an end. For some of you, this is a divorce, or, it can be, either strengthening a bond or releasing a bond is what I'm getting here, because you don't want to live in a state where you're constantly feeling like you are someone's side fling, or if someone is emotionally or physically unavailable. It just feels like you're not getting everything that you need and desire out of a situation here. And you certainly don't want to look over your shoulder and be in any third party energy. I feel like your integrity is holding strong here when it comes to you being honest with yourself about what someone can and cannot offer you. And it may require you to shed an old skin or an old version of yourself. Now, you have been made at times not enough, or perhaps other people didn't view your worth or your value. They didn't see you for who you truly were. There may have been self-sabotage on your end, their end. Some of you may have been in an abusive relationship. I'm sending you a lot of hugs. Definitely seek support if you still are in that dynamic, because there are other options here for you. This is about lacking confidence, and maybe you did lack confidence here regarding a relationship, and that's why the Queen of Wands is coming in, reawakening a part of yourself, because you've been working heavily on, your own confidence physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Someone around you, perhaps a parent or a family member, this could even be a sibling or a best friend, they may have struggled with some of their own insecurities, and they may have projected them onto you with that snake card. And even though it wasn't fair, hurt people, and you may have needed to set some boundaries or draw a line in the sand in order to protect your own peace. You have the chaser here, Aries. This can be a fear of abandonment. It can be codependencies here. Some of you were maybe chasing someone's love. This could be a father's love. It could be a mother's love, right? It could be chasing affection at work, just wanting to feel like you were appreciated here. But I feel like you've learned some very valuable lessons of chasing, and you're saying, I will not chase, I will attract. I want to be able to strengthen my own personal boundaries here and heal some of my own past with that Six of Cups. And I don't want to fear abandonment because I've been abandoned or rejected in the past. And I feel like you're coming to a point in your life where there's a level of acceptance coming in here where you're not going to chase anyone's attention or love or desire. And it feels like you are coming to a point where you feel more whole. You feel more complete within who you are, regardless of relationship status. And lastly, oh my goodness, you have the picture card again. This is a month of nostalgia. I'm just going to tell you that. I mean, someone could be looking at some pictures, which we have for the memories here. It could be either renewed vows. It could be a celebration of life. It can be graduation, wedding, marriage. Someone could be snapping a lot of photos if you're traveling here. But I do see that you may be missing someone. Someone may be missing you. And those feelings are, okay. It's okay to have those feelings of nostalgia, but we don't want to sit in them. And I see here that you are making space for new memories. You have this energy about you that says, okay, I understand where I've been, but I also know where I'm going. That hope is stronger than whatever keeps pulling me back to the past. So you're really working on living a happier, more abundant, more complete life. And I'm loving this for you because it didn't come easy. And I actually see here Paris, on one of these pictures, the city of love. So some of you, I feel like there may be travel, best wishes. Okay, someone is giving best wishes here on a new journey. You could be receiving, I'm getting cards, like people are giving cards to someone. So maybe this is like a retirement card, or it could be a graduation card, or moving. It feels like there's a huge shift coming in, and you're ready to embrace this new path, but you're going to hold what you've learned close to your heart. Wow. All right. And lastly here, the archetype that you have for the month of June is the vow. Now, I don't recall this card. I feel like this does have to do with commitments, of course, but it's about the promise, the oath, and the contract. Wow. When the vow is spoken, the air shifts, karmic ties are formed, and destiny tilts on its axis. Our words and intentions have immense power. There is a reason the great mythic stories of our past often include the recitation of oaths and the mixing of drops of blood as a mark of union. The tricky part is that reciting the vow, no matter how casually, activates the eternal and unseen forces of the world. The ancestors bear witness. The laws of nature respond. These promises cannot be unsaid or forgotten, so breaking them can leave lingering complexities and loose ends. This card calls us to acknowledge the vow we are living by consciously or unconsciously, and either recommit to it or create a ritual that signifies its closure. You've been underestimating the power of your promises. Wow. That's the world. That's the Fool card. And you have memories, second chances. You have a lot of the nostalgia coming up here. So this is a month to either recommit or to, as it says, create a ritual of closure here so you can be freed, so you can embrace this new beginning. When this is showing up as the light, bearing witness to the shift towards destiny. When it's in the dark, it can be unkept promises, messy karma, and unconscious vows. Anytime the energy of the vow is present, we are in the archetypal realm of ceremony and ritual. That means time stands still and anything is possible. Think of the last promise that you made, Aries. Was it to yourself or another? Has it been upheld or broken? If you want to go deeper in this energy, learn about the yamas, the 5 vows of the seeker. Now, for those of you that would like to be entered into the free reading giveaway, I want you to drop in the comment section the last promise that you made to yourself, if you feel comfortable enough to share. And, ask, has it been upheld? Has it been broken? Or is it something that you are currently acting upon, as in, taking action with that Knight of Pentacles? Does it feel risky to move forward in a vow? Or are you meant to kind of break this vow because a karmic tie has been settled in some way? You've learned the lesson that was needed in this soul contract. So, wow, this is huge. There's definitely here a recommitting to an energy or creating something that can bring you closure in order to embrace the Fool. So I would say this is a huge month of endings and beginnings, but also about you making choices that are going to shift and alter your destiny. And I feel like it's in a better way, especially with the inner child here and the Fool card coming in. So that is what I have for your June 2025. If you like the reading, please hit that thumbs up button. Don't forget to drop your promise to yourself or another in the comment section below to be entered into the free reading giveaway. Thank you so much for tuning in today, Aries. Lots of love.